this is my herb border. I have got a couple of flowers in there. I've got some salvia, got a rather disheveled looking lobelia, but it is coming back at the bottom, so I'm going to leave that in. I've got some flat leaf parsley, I've got some curled parsley. These are just supermarket plants. You don't need to go to the garden centre and spend loads of money on herbs. I just get these in the supermarket. I paid 75p for them because they were reduced, because they were past their best. So yeah, I have been to the garden centre and I bought this one. This is a salvia, so that one's in there. Don't know if you can use salvias as a herb, but I do think they're very pretty. I've got fennel. This is a bronze fennel. This one was from the garden centre. I think it was about £1.99 a few years ago. And it comes back every year. Tastes delicious. You can have it in a herbal tea, you can have it in your salad. You can just pick it off the bush, just like that, and eat it. Very tasty. This is the seed head for the curly parsley. So there will be seeds coming with that. This is a thyme, or a marjoram. And this was a cutting that I had from around the garden. It smells lovely. It smells delicious when you rub it. Lovely in your cooking. I'm going to do herbs in the freezer this year, so I'm going to do that in a video. I'm going to do some in oil, and I'm going to do some in as ice cubes. And then what you can do is you can then put them straight into your cooking, and you've got a decent portion for cooking food. This one is a feverfew, and I believe you can use the flowers in herbal medicine, and I believe you can eat the leaves as well. I've also got some strawberries in here, and they've got loads of runners on, so this is something else we're going to do as well in a video. I am making free plants, and they're going to be for the new garden at the top of the garden. This one here is a lemon verbena. Lemon balm, sorry. It grows readily round here. It does seed. It has lovely white flowers on it when it's in flower. There's some appearing there. And if you suffer from stress and you're not able to sleep, a bit of insomnia, it's a great herb to have about half an hour before you go to bed. I've used it quite a lot in the past. You can, again, just take one of the small leaves off the top and eat it. And it's lovely. It's a really nice tasty herb. It does taste really strong of lemon. So when you have it in a herbal tea, it's great. It's lovely. And it does help you have a really good night's sleep, a really nice restful sleep. So especially if you're going through the menopause, it's a really nice addition to have in your diet. I've also got in here somewhere that's just growing by itself. Where are we? I've got an ordinary green fennel. I did have another one, but I gave it to my brother. And this is another bronze fennel, because when they start growing, you can actually divide them up. They do divide really well. But as you can see at the bottom, it's a really old one. I've had it for years. I had it in the other house in the Belfast sink. Brought it here. And the bonus as well is it looks pretty in the summer, because it has these beautiful yellow flowers on them, and if you leave them you get the fennel seeds, so you can use them in your cooking as well. So yeah, it's a lovely addition to the garden. So this here I'm hoping to expand with more herbs in. I've also got in the corner over here, I've got a lot of bramble that I need to get out, but I've also got down there is an evening primrose, which is supposed to be a good herbal remedy as well. So yeah, I've got a plantain to go in as well in this border here, and I'm going to put a few dahlias in, because I believe you can eat dahlias as well. So there's going to be a couple of dahlias going in here. The other thing I've got to go in here is an angelica. I love angelica. I love it in the garden. I've not really used it. I believe you can use the leaves and the young stems in salad. I did get it in the garden centre. There were some quite expensive ones, so You have to really have a look through and see if you can find them cheaper. I got this one for £1.99, but they did have some the same size and they were £3.99 just because they were in a bigger pot. So do check out the prices, do have a look and see what you can get and see if you can get it cheaper. So I got this for £1.99. It did die back in all the rain that we had, but it's come back nicely. So I'm going to put this in here. It's going to go towards the back. It likes the shade, but it also likes to grow in the sun. So I think here is going to be ideal because then it can grow up nice and tall. It'll grow up here. They grow to about 6 foot tall eventually. So yeah, I think that will be happy down there. So that's going to go in there. So we'll do that now. The evening primrose there is going to grow quite tall. So I think I'm going to grow this in the middle. Just here. All this soil rotting down, these leaves are rotting down really well, you know. So I'm going to put that in there. It likes the wet, so it's going to be all right here. And we'll see how that gets on. So this little board has been brilliant. All it is some logs, some leaves, and a bit of old compost on the top. So let's get it weeded while I'm here. So yeah, Angelica's in. That's going to be happy in there. I don't know whether I want the plantain in there. Right, what I have got here is some bright lights that's left over from when I did the seeds in the spring. Ones in the polytunnel have done great. And these have perked up nicely. So do you know, I think instead of the plantain, I'm going to put these in. Add a nice bit of colour. So I think these can go along here, behind the parsley and behind these herbs. And then behind that then we'll have these salvias, which are here. And then behind that then we'll have some tall plants. We'll have the dahlias, I'll have my angelica, and I'll have my elderflowers. My evening primrose flowers, sorry. So that's going to be nice. Right, so I've just separated all these out and I've got quite a few plants here. So I'm not going to put them all in this patch, but I am going to put a lot of them because they're going to look very pretty, all the different coloured leaves. So I'm going to plant them behind the strawberry, but in front of the salvias, like that. And that way they will grow up, and they will grow up here and give a nice bit of colour, and then the salvias will be behind. So this has put down a lovely root. Look at the root on that. This is this parsley here. But yeah, it's really anchored itself in well. So I've got a yellow one. So I'll put that there, because these will grow quite tall. Then we've got a nice pinky coloured one. Pop that in there. We'll do another one over there. We'll put another red. We'll put this green one on this side of the strawberries. Put that one there. As you can see, they do get the sun. It's quite moist soil because it's on concrete. We just put the soil down on top of the yard. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Pull that out. And then if we pull the parsley forward, we could put some more in behind that. So I've got another pink one. I really like this colour. This colour here is really nice. So we're going to put this one in. Another nice big pink one. We can go in just here, just there. And that is next to a California poppy. and then another feverfew. So I think that will do there. Quite happy with that. And then these can go in the garden. These can go in the veg garden next to the artichokes. Right. Right, so another job I want to do is trim these dianthus, because all the flowers are finished. What I've also done is pulled some bits off the bottom, and that's going to give me some cuttings, because they have got roots on. I don't know whether you can see the roots. So I'm going to get myself some pots and I'm going to pop them in some pots. I've got a few cuttings there. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to do the dianthus cuttings. And these are them. These are the cuttings we've got. I'm just going to put them in ordinary trays in these. And I've just got some spent compost, which is out of the tubs I've been clearing in the yard. So yeah, so we're going to get on with that, because I don't want them to dry out in all this sun and then I'll lose. Come back into the polytunnel because the sun was too bright, so I've had to come back in the polytunnel. What have I done with my plants? These are the cuttings that we've got that we're going to use. And got some compost. So all I'm going to do is these bigger ones, just put a hole in the compost and get them to root the same way as they would have done in the soil. I've started to wilt a bit with the sun. But there you go. So I'm going to do that with all of them. What I'm also going to do is snip the tops off. I need to do my shears, they're a bit blunt. Just snip the tops off and they'll grow better. Right, so that's one. Hopefully we'll get some new plants. So let's do another one. You just want compost. Like that. And then you want your cutting. Now, I don't know whether you can see, but this one has got some roots coming through. So I'm going to put that in. Dig a deep enough hole for it to go in. And again, cut the top off. Shears are blunt. And this one's got quite a lot of roots on it, so this one can go in as well. They tend to grow a little bit like penstemon. There's another one. And again, take the top off. There's another one. So this one's got quite a bit going on with it, so I'm going to put this one in a pot on its own and just cut that top off. Just plonk that in a pot by itself. And there you go, there's another one. So I'm going to carry on and get them done. Got lots to do today while the weather's dry. Need to make the most of the dry weather. And I'm just going to leave them outside because we're forecast rain again tonight. And they'll get a good drink. And it'll save me having to look after them in the polytunnel. Because things are starting to just get too hot in the polytunnel for doing this sort of thing. It's interesting to see how the polytunnel works though. How I can use it. I'm hoping for great things next year. Right, so that's that done. So I've got all those and this one. Loads of free plants. But I'm going to put these outside. I think I'm just going to put them here because there's nothing in here at the moment. Let's just put it there. So that tree there is a hornbeam. It's supposed to be a hedge. And I cut that right the way down to the top of the fruit cage, which you can see just here. I cut that right the way down to there last year, and it's grown that tall and that thick in 12 months. I need to thin it out, but I'm not looking forward to doing that. So I'm going to get my saw and we're going to chop the top off. I'm going to hopefully use the branches around the garden. Free plant supports once they've dried out. Dries out into a lovely wood. Beautiful colour bark. And actually quite rare as well. So, but yeah, it's supposed to be a hedge. It's turned into a tree. And it's dwarfing out my greenhouse. So it needs to come down. Only down to the level with just a bit higher than the hedge. So it does look a bit like a tree. But I don't want it that thick and that big. So that's the next job. There's always something round here. Always something. Right, it's okay. I hope you've enjoyed my video and enjoyed pottering about with me in the garden. Yep, we've had quite a bit done today. We've got the spinach in, we've had a look at the herbs. You saw me cutting some flowers and putting some flowers around the house. I do love coming into the garden and just being able to pick a few sprigs of flowers and brighten up a dull day in the house. It's lovely. So yeah, I highly recommend it. If you've got a pot, just put a couple of different plants in and you can have cut flowers if you pick the right flowers. So I'm going to do a video for you at some point about my favourite flowers from the garden that I like to cut for the house. I think that would be a nice video to do for you, so I'm going to do that. Just going to have my lunch, bit of a late lunch. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. So yeah, I've had a really busy day. But I'm going to go now and I'll see you in the next video. So in the next video we're going to be doing the strawberry runners and I'll show you what I've done with them. And I'll show you what they've turned out like. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Enjoy the rest of your week. And please do like, subscribe and hit that bell because it does really help me to promote my YouTube channel. And let's see if we can get up to 500 subscribers because it seems to have been a long, slow process to get to 400. But it would be nice to get up to 500 and hopefully YouTube will start promoting my videos more. I do have a Ko-fi account if you'd like to buy me or the girls a treat, a cup of coffee or a treat for them. And I will see you soon, so take care, enjoy the rest of your week and I'll see you soon. Bye for now, bye bye.